This segment is going to be MindSight Matching. And this is where we're just going to take 2 cards. Now we're starting with 2 cards from the very beginning because I want it to be easier for you to work with. If you've got 9 cards in front of you, sometimes for people that can be a little overwhelming. As you develop, if 2 cards are very easy for you, bring in a 3rd card or 4th. You will grow at your own individualized rate, whatever works for you. That's why I want to make you comfortable in any way that you do it, because guess what? You're the end result and it's all coming through you. So why would you not make those kinds of connections for you and how it works best? So in this way, because we've already gone through the beings and the animals, let's do some scenery. Let's select a couple of cards that you want to choose from.
Okay. Fire, and we'll do ether, which is the tree.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yep, just set those right there.
Okay.
Now, since we have that, we're going to write down the name of what the card is. Not just a number for the numbers, but we want to match whatever the design is that we're reading. That way it's a vibrational match. So, within this, now, if we can, we're going to give Maggie the target energy to read. Diana, you're going to be the target. Now, out of those 2, if you look at one or the other cards, the listings, what vibes to you?
Tree and fire.
Now, why?
When I tapped into this one, it felt more erratic, I think, and to me that feels like fire. The tree felt a little bit softer, a little bit more willowy type of energy, so that's why I went with it. And I got it wrong.
But here's the thing. The senses are there. How she read the energy of the card is there. Now she's got the vibe of the card, but we also want to do an even more effective match of the vibration. So as you did that, okay, and you read it that way, let's redo this, and then I want you to read it the other way. If you get that instant connection, flip the dynamic and see if that might help in this particular case. You know, because there's so many ways that as I was reading things before and I kept getting one over the other because it kept feeling a certain way, I was like, well, flip it. And then we flipped it and we got an energy read. So how you did it last time, which one do you want to choose, and go for the opposite way of reading it?
Okay, I'm going for the opposite way because this feels like a tree, because I feel wood, although that could be fire too, but I feel it more grounded, I think, so. Okay. And nope, I got it. I would have had it right if I had trusted it that time.
Okay, so again, slightly different energy read, but it was her choice whether to trust that new way of reading or the new vibe that came from that energy read. The great thing is you're not going to always be accurate, not going to always be right, but working with this. And sometimes, for me, I would do it again and again and again just to start getting a way to read it, a certain consistency that, all right, when it's vibing like this, it's usually playing out like that. It became a little bit more effective and effortless, more precision. So we're going to do it again. And in this case, let's just target one. Which one feels like the tree? And then put the label on it. Not analyzing it, feel it.
Okay, so I'm really drawn to this one, but when you just said feel it, it pulled me over to this way. So I'm gonna say this is the tree, and it is.
Okay, notice she said it feels like. Feelings are different than emotions. Those feelings are information, like, oh, interesting, but I felt like it was over here because the energy shifted. And her target was the tree. So strong enough, she felt the energy shift to what she felt was the tree, not the fire. So again, it'll be that way to read the energy more consistently. And again, you can only do the best you can, but lighten up on yourself, man. Have the fun is the part of doing this.
Do these two.
Okay.
Cool. Now selecting two different other sceneries. Mountain and a water. So again, as you know, you'll get out of it what you put into it. If you just kind of, hey, you know, whatever, and you just throw stuff down, you'll probably have it play out that way to go, well, there was 1 out of 10, or, you know, whatever the case is. But it's the ability to keep it simple first, keep it easy. 50-50 chance, good. Then it's lightening it up instead of going, I got 1 out of 10 that I gotta. For me, I like to keep it easy and then build upon that because I get a stronger trust and faith with how I read the energy. So if I do 1 more, it's all energy. I've just now expanded it to encompass 1 more card. So again, if you can do all of them, do them. You want to start with 2, 3, wherever feels good for you. That way you're comfortable, solid, and consistent. So with this, I would like for you to pick out, there you go. Which one does that go to?
Water. Mountain.
Why? Why'd you choose those?
Well, I don't really love water. I just like large bodies of water really freak me out. And when I can't breathe well, it makes me feel like I'm like underwater. So that's why.
Let's flip it and see.
But it's the opposite.
Okay, but here's the thing. Notice how she's functioning. She's working from her own life experience, her own emotional connection to those items as well. That's what I'm saying is those energies will get more palpable, more powerful, because I've learned that when I was connecting with things in my life, I gave it more energy. I gave it more reality and different ways of seeing it. Oh, there's the ocean. Whoop, there's a droplet in the ocean. Whoop, there's a pool. Whoop, there's a lake. It became more effective and consistent because I knew what that felt like. Now, in addition, she was also coming from what made her uneasy. Because like, oh, well, wait a minute. So on this one, let's try for the other one. Not the water, but the mountain, and see what vibes. Why?
That one felt heavy. And water to me is heavy.
Let's flip the...
Nope, this one's water.
I think a mountain would be heavy too.
To me, it's all about breathing.
Yeah.
But
It's all
see,
about breath.
exactly. So now we're seeing the different way of heaviness became an emotional heaviness, not necessarily a physical heaviness like the mountains. So that kind of a connection, again, it will allow you to bring your own life experience and your own perspectives of that experience. And now you'll see that doing the best you can to just do the energy read as you're reading it. But as you're sending it, putting even more emotional connection to it. That is powerful. Okay, so now let's just do them both. Which one feels like which one? Label them both.
Okay, so we have water, mountain.
Okay, so now we're seeing there's consistency pretty much across the board. It's been the opposite choice. So now let's redo this again, and I want you to go for the way that that felt and flip it,
Okay.
and let's see if it works. Because again, the uniqueness of the approach will depend on you. Not everyone is going to be comfortable with doing all of these. That's why we have so many, is I want you to find what vibes with you, what feels good for you, what's natural. So natural would be supernatural. What do you get?
So it's going here, so I'm going to go there.
Okay, now just you flipped it. Why?
Just,
Changed it?
yep, wherever I was going, I just flipped
Let's
it.
see.
So this one says water, and it's water. But also, I think I was getting so keyed into my fear of water that I was
See how it distracts?
like I was getting stuck with the water.
Right.
Right.
I really think that's what I was doing.
And in addition, as she's talking about that, notice that kind of fear
Yeah.
is also starting to get her attention. So she's trying to read it, but she's also coming from more of the erratic fear of like, oh, but I know.
Yeah.
So it becomes a heavy and a multiple vibration. That's why reading that vibe energy, whatever the picture is, I want you to kind of do the best you can to get how that card feels to you when you see it. That's why I want to show you all of these cards so that you get the emotional connection. All right, you know what? I've got this. And in the beginning, for you to be able to select any of the cards, that's the point. Start with what vibes with you strongest, and then you can build from there. And that consistency, as you learn, you'll be able to see it's not always the exact same approach that you have to do it as. We've got one, now we can see as she slightly shifted the approach, it was accurate. So, for this, Meg, do we have all four of these? Are all of these here?
Yep, we've got the tree, fire, water, and mountain.
Okay, so now we've got double the energy. Let's give this to Maggie.
Maggie? Okay.
Yep, and then we're gonna have her work her magic and see what she gets. And along the way, I would love to, like you're doing, share with us what's happening. Are you getting a stronger connection? Now, here's the thing. Do you want to target one of these?
Can I do a psychic senses read with it?
You certainly can.
Because that helps me just kind of feel the energy.
Now you're seeing how you can blend multiple reading modalities and become even more effective. There are different levels of energy reading. She's just pointing out the fact. Naturally, she said it. Let me just vibe with it first. Let me touch it, psychometry, and then let's see if it labels it.
This might be water. I'm kind of getting a little bit messed up on these
Okay,
two.
so let's take this and flip it and see if it's the tree or possibly
It's
water.
a tree.
Good. You got one.
Let's see if we got water. Water. Mountain and fire I got mixed up. So.
Okay. Now, do you know, was there any difference between those cards that you...
The fire felt very light. Okay, but I guess that's possibly how you'd feel on top of a mountain. But the fire felt very light, so that's why I chose fire, just because it had a lightness to it.
Okay. And so notice there's a variety of ways that she's getting this. It was a lightness, but you know what? Being high up on the mountain could be a lightness too. You'll have that lightness, but you'll also be able to put another vibe of energy to go, okay, no, I know it's lightness, but let's see, the mountain will be a heavy energy. Then you can kind of vibe with that, because she very nicely did too, instantly with it. And again, the more you do it, the better you get. First feeling, picture, energy, light, words, and we'll get more into the other ways to read the cards because we got so many more. But we want to show you real time, in the real way, doing the best that we can as us to be able to pick these, vibe it, and read it.